No damage. Lines to tell for dinner. Julio served that snippet. You got it if you want it. Got it if you want it. Said you got it if you want it. Take my wallet if you want it now. Jump in the Cadillac. Girls, put some miles on it. Anything you want, just to put a smile on it. You deserve it, baby. You deserve it all. And I'm gonna give it to you. Gold jewelry shining so bright. Strawberry champagne on us. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Lucky for you, that's what I like. That's what I like. Satisfied by fire and night. Some shades and diamonds, all white.
Are you live?
Lucky for you, that's what I like.
I'm live on Periscope.
Periscope. People still do that? Man, I was so...
People still do that?
I was so hooked.
Do people still do that?
I was so hooked on Periscope at first.
Yeah.
And I don't know, something happened with my phone. Like, I didn't have enough apps, so I had to delete, the space, and I never got back to it.
Yeah.
But that's good. I should get back to
Yeah,
Periscope.
it's connected directly with Twitter. It's
Yeah.
Twitter, you know what I mean? So I'm heavy on Twitter, so I'm
That's
heavy
good.
on this stuff. I'm not a heavy Facebook user,
Oh,
so my
okay.
guests go live on Facebook all the
Right.
time, so
And my dad is so slow.
that's the fun stuff.
That's both, though. You cover one end, they can cover the other.
Yeah. We're gonna change that though. I'm gonna actually make it official, man. We're working on some backhand stuff.
Okay.
Get it right. Get our page up.
Right.
Yeah.
You ready? Let me know whenever you want me to fade you, man.
All right. You go down. You can go now. We ready.
So,
It's 9 o'clock. Let's do it. Yes. We are live right here, 101.3 FM radio. This is the Pulse of Milwaukee. That's right. This is the Educational Arts Project. I'm your host, Viva Fidel. We are here. We back. Like we start each and every episode, we want to thank all the new listeners. We want to thank all of the returning listeners, all of my guests, all of the people who helped spread the word about what's going on here at 101.3 FM with the Educational Arts Project, and just overall, all the great guests, the people who make it possible, the underwriters, and once again, all of the new listeners help spread the word about this community platform. And it's exciting already. This Thursday, I'm back right where I'm supposed to be, in the driver's seat. And I got a great guest with me, so I'm gonna be in the passenger seat soon. And you're gonna be in for a treat like each and every week, right here, the Educational Arts Project, taking the conversation to a lot of different places. Last week we had a guest here. I was traveling, so my man Josh held me down, and we had a special guest from the Milwaukee Water Commons, Miss Brenda Coley. I want to send a special thank you and send love to her for coming out and sharing some information with the people about the status of the water in Milwaukee, the status of, how to be educated, how to be aware, how to be prepared, how to take proper procedures, proper precautions, and what the resources are, what's happening on the ground. That's what this is about. I work with the Water Commons directly through their arts and culture outreach and assembly. So, it's a lot of dots that come together, and people understand the value of how, art and culture play into that, and how it's the inner wire and the glue, really, and the fuel behind a lot of things. It's a lot happening everywhere. If you're paying attention, it's mass movements popping off and mobilizations popping off around the globe. But even right here in America, you got people in the streets daily. You got people demonstrating, protesting. You got people that are mobilizing and shutting things down right now in America, and for political reasons. And one of the main things that help people communicate through these times and through these movements and get their messaging through is arts. And you might not think about it as you're watching it, but when you're watching it, you're seeing a lot of art. You're seeing banners, you're seeing signs, you're seeing colors, you're seeing coordination of things. I seen some people scale a crane up way up and unleash a banner that said resist, if I remember correctly, and in a way to how we radicalize art. How do we make our art and take our talents and even use it for the purposes of pushing our movements forward and spreading our messages? it's written. This is what this is about. It's the Educational Arts Project. So we thank you for tuning in. We're going full speed today. I got some great announcements before I introduce my guest that, I'm going to just like mention right quick and then have to come back to. I have to come back to these announcements because, it's always a lot of stuff going on in Milwaukee. I try to reach out and let people know, this is a platform where, I like to share people's information and what's going on in the city. I like to share what's happening and who's doing what and why and et cetera, et cetera. That's why I got the best guest list, you understand me, right here on the Educational Arts Project. But tonight, I want y'all to check out, if you're available, the Cote Dance Company is doing a performance. Vibrations Rhythmic Motion is the name of the performance, and it's happening tonight, Wilson Theater at Vogel Hall, UWM, and tonight and tomorrow, actually, Thursday and Friday, 7:30 p.m. it starts. Cote Dance Company is is an icon. It's an institution in the community, and if you don't know about it, or if your babies don't know about it, it's a great opportunity to check it out. That's tonight. That's at UWM, and you can go to marketcenter.org. Am I saying UWM? Scratch that. Go to marketcenter.org, and you can find out more information about where they're going to be at. But I know they get busy at UW, but they're going to be at Vogel Hall tonight. So you want to check that out. If you're available. It's always amazing to see Cote do their thing. They smash. And then I also want to make a mention of something very relevant before I keep it moving. There's an art build for public education that's going on. So people always, ask me, what's going on in the city and et cetera, et cetera. And, a lot of out-of-town guests come through. They want to know what's happening. And, on an art and education level, this event right here that I'm gonna just share with you all is pretty dope, and it's on Facebook as well. But there is an art build for public education. You can make handcrafted banners, posters, and other art pieces in preparation for the upcoming Wisconsin State Budget Battle. You heard? It's a battle coming. And there's going to be people protesting in the streets. And there's going to be people that's going to be at meetings disrupting business as usual. And there's going to be parents who's going to be feeling some type of way and looking to express themselves. And there's going to be students who are going to want to step up and say, no, we don't want no prisons, and we want our math classes funded. No, we don't want, more juvenile hellholes built up and supported by the politicians. We would rather have, some equipment and some art supplies. How about that? So that's happening. That's an art build for public education that's happening this Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's serious right there. That's a serious build. For real. That's serious right there. From 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. For some people, it's that real. So that's going down this weekend. Join them at the Company Brewing, above the Company Brewing on East Center Street, 735 East Center Street. Search the Art Build for Public Education in Milwaukee on Facebook, and you'll find out more information. It says all parents, students, and community members welcome. You understand? So I know there's like people campaigning for like school board. I know there's people like, running PTAs around here, so on and so forth. We always tell the community, like, let us know what's going on. Let us know who we need to talk to and what we need to announce, who we need to bring on, who the experts and what's going on in the community, where the resources, where the solutions. That's what we about here. We about the solutions and the resources in the community, and that's one of them you can participate in this Friday, this Saturday, this Sunday. It goes down. And for real, of course, I don't know everybody's event, so if you know something or if you want me to announce something, just send it my way. It's all good. But without any more delay, I'm gonna introduce my guests. And usually, my guests, they don't need much introduction because they're well known at what they do. And we make sure that people from around the planet get tuned in to what they're about. Because people from all over listen to the radio station, and we give a lot of love to the hometown. We platform our giants right here. That's right here in the city. 101.3 FM, and that's really what it's about for me, at least. I take this conversation very seriously when it comes to arts and education. I'm introducing Miss MVP.
Hey.
Vikki Porter.
Hey y'all. Good morning.
I first met Vikki on the front lines in the community centers, with the little ones on the grind. I think I was doing after school programming, and she was holding it down pretty much. That was her domain. I was coming into her space doing programming like once a week or something, and she was running it. And how you been doing?
I've been fantastic.
always telling people about my guests and how, I don't like just randomly select people. I don't like just randomly like ask people to come join this conversation. It's very intentional. It's very deliberate. It's very special for me because people have to earn it. Where I'm from, where I'm from, people have to earn it. So I appreciate you, and I thank you for coming. I thank you for spending your time with us this morning, and I thank you for your service that I know that you've provided over the years in the community to the little ones. I watched your sons grow up in that space. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So I know how it go. You was putting in that work for the babies, period, and your babies was in that space. And so I respected that off top. Like, I think one of your babies was in my class actually, and so so I got a special experience. So what was his name?
It was probably Michael or Josh.
It was the young one. It was Josh. It was Josh. I believe it was Josh. Yes, but it was exciting times. That was back in the
18 now, so that was a while.
That's love. And that just go to show you, when you have great relationships, you form great builds with people that are doing great things, it comes full circle at all times. So you're doing some great things now. Your future, we're gonna talk a little bit about what's going on in the future, what's upcoming, but I want to start with the early childhood education. Okay. As you said, that's your background. Tell us a little bit about that, how that came about as an interest of yours.
Well, when I was a young mother, before I got into early childhood education, I worked in service industry. So I worked at McDonald's as a manager, Jewel Osco. I had lost both those jobs. And I was involved in a program at COA called HIPPY, which is Home Instruction for Parents of Preschool Youngsters. And they would have a person come to my house and do some activities, teach me how to teach my children. And so an opportunity came to work for them. And I took it up. And from there, it showed me a different side of life I never saw before. A different field I never thought about working in before. So I had to see something different in order to even know it was even there. And so working for that program and doing the home visits with families, it just gave me a deeper connection to the community and to see that it was more than just me. Like, it's a lot of us out here who need some guidance and whatnot. And my supervisor at the time, Samara Johnson, pushed me to get my college education. And since I was already working with
Mary
children,
Mary Jo.
Since I was already
shout out to Mara.
Working with families and young people, that was just a perfect fit. And I always had a passion for youth ever since I was young. Like at church, I used to work with the babies or with the young kids and things like that. So I went ahead and got my 2-year degree in 2.5 years, and I was very proud of myself. I would have never thought I would have went to college. I mean, I had thought about it, but I never took any action. I didn't really have somebody saying, hey, you still want to go to college? Like, go do this. What are you sitting on your butt for? So it was a good motivation for me and a good encouragement to have her to like say, hey, you can do this.
That's awesome.
Just go do it.
That's awesome. And she's still holding it down.
Yes.
She's
at Malika now.
She's still on the front line holding it down.
I love her to life.
That's good. Yes. So now, so that went through some evolutions, and then I started seeing you pop up on stages, like, or maybe I just started seeing you like in the mix or doing poetry, and I was like, oh, well, okay. Now, so I'm sure that was always there. I'm sure that was always a part of your...
Poetry was always a part of me. I wrote when I was, in junior high or high school, but it was just something I did kind of like to express myself or some diary type stuff, But then around 2009, I think, 2008, I got introduced to Poetry Unplugged, which I never had an experience with the open mic scene or anything like that. So when I got introduced to that, I was like, what is this world? Like, this, people get up here and just do this, and it didn't take me long to get on that stage. It's funny because I was afraid, like I didn't want to just get on there, but I knew if I didn't do it, I would never do it. So my sis Britt Nicole, shout out to Britt Nicole, we started going at the same time.
Britt, you gotta come on the show.
Yes, you gotta have her on the show for sure. We just were like, we're coming, so let's get on, let's start going on stage and start signing up. So that's kind of how my introduction to spoken word and to poetry in that facet came about.
So if somebody asked you, what is Poetry Unplugged? What is that in Milwaukee? What would you say?
I would say Poetry Unplugged is
Well, the poetry scene in general in Milwaukee, how would
yeah.
you describe that to somebody who never been here?
Well, I think the poetry scene in Milwaukee is genuine. The sets that I go to now, Poetry Unplugged is a huge family, a huge platform for a lot of upcoming artists. They do they're not as frequent as they were back in the day, but they do, shout out to Kwa and them. He does have some events, coming up monthly or something like that. There's also Pentastic, which is Britt Nicole's set. That's been going strong for 3 years.
Yeah, tell us about the scene. Like, what's happening? What's the pulse?
Pentastic is second and fourth Tuesday of every month at the Artist Factory. So that's Tony Cash's place. So shout out to Tony Cash. So we have, that's the second and fourth Tuesday from 7:30 to 10. The purpose of Pentastic is to build, heal, and cultivate, which is exactly what we're talking about on this show. Using our arts and our gifts to inspire people. There is a couple youth sets, and since we like to talk about young people, Michaela Lacey has a set that is once a month at Arts at Large, that her and another young lady, now these are high schoolers, and they put on a phenomenal open mic set for the youth that can shut some of grown folks sets down.
Crazy.
When I go there, I'm lit. Wow.
Yeah, I'm crying. I'm like just in tears because our future is so amazingly
it's so
fantastic
amazing.
and powerful. And yo, I just be so inspired. Like literally, I'd be in tears, and they be like, yo, I'm like, yo, for real, this is amazing.
It is amazing.
And it makes me so hopeful. And I have so much gratitude for the way that they have taken what has been shown to them and exemplified to a whole nother level. It's like all of the art forms within hip hop that we, grew up in and grew up doing, and now it's on a whole nother level. And we respect it and we support it. And all the young poets, I've communicated with a few of them, spring break and things like that. We're gonna bring some of them in, so when it's not school time, they can come in and build with us and perform right here live on air. We like to hear it. Because, I tell people a lot of times about because people ask me from out of town about the scenes here and this or that, and poetry is one of the things that come up, because a lot of people know about different things and different poets have traveled and things like that. So that's a big deal, especially in my opinion, when it comes down to creating an economic circle, when it comes down to creating opportunities. So one of the things that spurs out of you going to something like that and being inspired and being on stages and seeing what's the possibilities and being sparked is you start going in the studio and releasing music.
Yep. That's for sure. I made a CD that I would have never thought I would ever have done in my life. So that to me that's like winning the lottery. Like I just went in here and recorded some tracks and now I have a product to sell. When your gifts, I realized my gifts make the way. And when I realized that, I was like, well, I better start taking my gifts seriously so we can make the way for me.
There you go.
Feel me?
I do. That's what I'm saying. It's that's what it is. And that's what it's always been. And so talk a little bit about that experience and then we're going to go into one of the tracks. Okay. Like when you first got in and how did you come up with, your process? What's your process as far as recording goes and writing it and thinking about coming out of your shell and sharing it on that level? Right.
When I first decided to do a CD, I had a whole bunch of tracks. I had like 12 or 13 I was going to lay down. And when I went into the studio, I had never been into the studio before. I went to the Voice of the Fatherless Child, that venue. They have a studio in there, 40-something in North, so shout out to that. But I went in there, and I was so, infatuated with the whole, there was some other people in there recording music, and I was just like, wow, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing, I need to be in here and doing this. And I had this whole list, but really when I went in there and I did what I did, I ended up 3 tracks shorter than what I thought, but everything just flowed out. I believe in just following your heart and trusting yourself. So I didn't really have a long process. I had a lot of poems I had been doing for a while, so I just had to get them out there and put them down. And that's what I did. And it was a fantastic experience. I'm excited to get back in there and do it again for not just poetry, but to do some some other projects too on the mic.
So you got some other things in mind that you're working on. I know there's some things coming up, some events coming up. We're gonna talk about that. Let's get into one of the tracks from your. Is this your first project that we're gonna play?
This is my first.
The first from the first project.
Which one are you playing first? Number 2.
So it's
Okay.
spoken word.
Yep, this is spoken word.
What's the name of the project, and can people get it anywhere?
This is it's called Take Off Your Shoes and Walk With Me. Right now it's on cdbaby.com, so you can pick it up there. It's only $5 on CD Baby.
cdbaby.com, and then they search what?
MVP Speaks.
MVP
I'm MVP
Speaks.
Speaks on all social media, SoundCloud, Facebook, Twitter. So you can definitely find that project there, and I will have some physical copies as well in the near future. This track that we're about to play is just it's a little short piece, but it's pretty slick. I like it a lot. I got inspired to write this when I was listening to Lupe Fiasco. He's like my favorite lyricist ever in the world. So, and it's called Fast Track.
Right here on the Educational Arts Project with your host, Viva Fidel 101.3 FM radio.
Eyes on the playing field, running cross country with my speaking skills. Hurdles won't stop me, my legs are strong since 93. Only thing blocking is me. No trophies and medals needed to justify. Can't pacify or simplify my grind. I've been said it's time. Finishing the race matters not the place. I go at my own pace. Many want to be the best in the industry. I'm focused on being the best me, so I can pass the baton to the next seed. Just lead, cause you're bound to land on your feet eventually. It's all how you approach the line. Don't break, crouch your start, cross your heart, and prepare to live. Survival of the fittest is what it is. Gotta save yourself before you can save others. Shave numbers off your time when you declutter your mind. Everything you need, you have inside. Get out your way, never lie in your own flight phase. Fight for what's right, be brave. Anchor yourself in positivity. Watch the change take over your mind. It's possible. Just know, see with your eyes closed. Ready? Set, go. Don't let electrolytes get you too hyped, causing a false start. Check your mark. You only got one life to live, no second draft. You've endured, and you'll endure some more. But put your head to the wind and go for yours. Let nothing stop you, no matter how many closed doors. Every no is just closer to a yes. It's your grip, it's your destiny, so you gotta do your best.
Back. Wham, wham, we back.
Wake up.
It's the Educational Arts Project. That was MVP Speaks. And once again, if you're online, you can follow, you can listen up. You wanna chime in on Twitter.com/VivaFidel, or we live on Periscope. Also, you can look up all MVP Speaks music, cdbaby.com, and she's on Facebook. And she's starting a YouTube series.
Yep, I have a YouTube series
fun stuff
coming out February 21st, which just happens to be my 42nd birthday. Hey, and that's called Simplify Your Appetite. And it's really, it's kind of like a talk show, kind of like a cooking show. It's really about simplifying the things that we want out of a life. A lot of times we want something so bad and we work so hard. But sometimes if we just relax and take a breath for a minute and keep it more simple, we can flow easier. So that YouTube series was something that I got inspired to do actually when I was in the hospital over the Christmas vacation. I had my appendix removed and I was watching some TV, which I never watched. So it gave me some ideas though to make a show, something different where I can still inspire people. We want to have fun and enjoy ourselves and talk about just a lot of different things, whatever's important to people. So I'm excited to do that.
That sounds fun. Keep us posted on that.
I surely will.
Keep us posted on that.
I'll be looking for guests for that as well.
Absolutely. Keep us posted on that. And if people want to know, people seeing you on stages, people seeing you at events, people see you in the mix. If people want to know something about you that's like a fact, just a random fact that they may not know. What's something that people may not know about MVP Speaks? Let's just share something off the
That's
channel.
a fantastic question. What would you all not know about me? Well,
because poets tend to bear a lot.
We do.
They tell everything. So tell us something about Vikki
I'm
MVP
gonna tell you this.
that people may not know.
I never liked my voice. And so I never liked myself on video or camera. And that was due to my low self-esteem. So even now, just listening to my poem, like, I'm feeling it, like, yeah. And there was a time when I've been like, no, I don't even like how I sound. Like, I just felt I was really insecure and I had no confidence in who I was. That's why I wasn't doing anything with my life, you know, of great magnitude, because I didn't believe in myself. So the fact that I didn't like my voice, I didn't like to be on videotape, I didn't like to look at myself, to now being able to hear myself, and like, I watch all my videos, I replay, I listen to my own self. So to me, that's a beautiful thing. And I know a lot of artists who don't like to listen to themselves, who don't watch their replay videos, and I don't know why, but for me I was just not confident. I didn't want to see that.
It's like when the young students come into my art of MC class, it's one of the things I talk about when they find their voice. You know what I mean? When they find their voice, and that confidence, it's like night and day. You know what I mean? Who they was last week is not who they were after they find their voice.
That's for sure.
And it's official.
It
is.
is.
That's a part of how we change the paradigm with our young people. So let's talk a little bit about, you know, your artistic side. You have an early childhood education background. You're a parent. How do the arts and what you do as far as like a spoken word creative, how does that translate into what we do with our young people, including our children, how we raise our youth and how we share and impart that love from arts and culture to our community youth at large?
That's a great question. You know, I think, well, from a parent's perspective, first of all, my kids don't listen to me because I'm their mama. So all my art and my gifts, like sometimes like I be trying to make them listen to my poem, or, you know, I want to engage them in certain things, but I also want to allow them to make their own choices and follow the path that's best for them. And most of the time it's, you know, if you're a parent, you know, your kid's not trying to listen to you. So I'm the example for them.
There you go.
And that's all I can be. And I don't push it on them like I used to. Like I used to drag them everywhere. Like, you all gotta come do this. But I want them to find a genuine interest in whatever it is that they're interested in and follow that. But as far as working with the youth in the community, I feel like, especially now, even before I started using my gift, when I was working with the young people and I was, you know, empowering them to some degree, I don't feel like it was as effective or beneficial because I wasn't fully empowered myself. I still was, you know, dragging my feet in the mud, still trying to figure things out. But now that I have found my voice, and now that I'm confident in my purpose, when I do work with these young people, I know that for a fact that they can have whatever they dream. And I know that for a fact that once they get their minds right and eliminate all the distractions around them and stay focused on what's for them, that they can't be stopped. And I know that because I know it for myself. And anything I do now is always going to direct somebody right back to themselves and right back to what they have inside, because that's just what I did. So, you know, you run a race, and then you can tell people how you ran that race, how you finished. Well, this race ain't never done, but you know what I mean? It's a continual, and that's another thing too. A lot of times we're looking for the finish line, but it's not a finish line. You know, we're here to the end, and we got to keep evolving and keep growing. There is no perfection. We're not looking for the you know, the first prize. We just got to keep moving and keep. That's
so real. I'm having this conversation all day, every day, because people got to understand the journey versus the destination.
Yes, exactly. It's all about the journey.
And we have a lot of different journeys, you know what I mean? I mean, it's a lot of different paths to get to certain places, but always remember exactly what you said. It ain't over till it's over. It ain't over till it's done. And you know, that's something that I learned from different levels. But, you know, my mother told me that once when I was young, and at that moment, it kind of crushed me because I was like hype about some place that I got to at some point or something. I'm like excited. She's like, that ain't it. Nah, you actually got to keep going.
Yes.
You know, that's just springboard. You feel me? And hold on. I just got past the message here. My security is telling me. Okay. Word. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, what's fun is, you know, now as people find their voice, as you found your voice, and as you loaded this thing to the journey, and now you're in a place where you're helping people. Now you've launched a business. You segued into that great, because with our young people, exemplifying those skills and showing that way is way more critical than telling and talking at them.
Yes.
And we let them learn and we let them grow, and we help them lead. You know what I mean? We help them by being the best selves we can be, and I can go on about that. But
Yes.
I would like to talk a little bit about how you created your business out of this work, out of this. Like, let's talk about the journey.
Yes.
Let's talk
Okay.
about how it happened.
That's fantastic. So in 2015, I was working at Oscillero Head Start. I had lost my position due to funding, and they were closing down some centers. I was a family advocate. A few months prior to that is when I had...
Family advocate by
Yes.
day, family advocate by night in a whole different way.
Yes.
Telling you my guest is certified over here.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Certified. And being able to do all of that and maintain your family, you out here sharing your blessings, sacrificing yourself, then going to work, advocating for families,
Yes.
et cetera, et cetera. That's not a small thing. That's not a little, I'm not going to let you minimize that
Okay.
and rush right past it. I'm going to stop and
I
say thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yes. And it wasn't an easy thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell you the main reason it wasn't an easy thing was because I wasn't in a good place emotionally.
Got you.
My mama had just passed, and I was dealing with a lot of depression at that time. And I had started listening to a motivational speaker named Les Brown. I don't know if anybody heard of him, but he's a fantastic.
That's my uncle.
Is it? Well, we need.
No, I mean, that's all of our
It's
uncles.
all of our uncles. I'm like,
if
I'm
you
trying to get
listen
the
Les-
hook up for
If you
real.
listen to Les, he like your uncle. You know what I mean?
He is. I call him my soul brother because
Hey,
he
yo,
really,
see, he your brother. You like my
he
uncle.
really spoke to my soul and just really had me thinking about my life. And I was like, man, like, what am I really doing? I'm advocating for these families, but at the same time, I'm in the same position as all the families I'm advocating for. So how can I push you and I'm not pushing myself? And so I lost my job. And the great thing about it is, like, I was super happy when I lost it because I was ready to go. It wasn't for me to be there anymore. And I didn't even know what my business was going to be. I had all these different ideas that kept filtering through. But it finally came down to, what's your gift? Like, our gifts make the way. And, that whole struggling artist thing is a false... Like, we need to shift that diagram.
That's our
whatever
language
it's
on
called.
this show. Thank
right.
you. Keep it going.
Because we're not supposed to be struggling. Our gift's supposed to feed us. Everybody's supposed to eat. And the more we tell ourselves that and realize that, then we'll be able to move forward. So I realized, okay, I want to impact people how Les Brown impacted me. And so how can I do that? And so my poetry, like, once I found my voice, and that's the thing, like, when I was doing poetry before, I was still comparing myself to other people, like, oh, they're better than me, or oh, I wish I could spit something like that. But once I found my voice and I found out what I wanted to share, my poems come naturally to me. Like, I don't have to do a whole lot of working with them. It's just from the heart. And, your heart is, if you think about it, when you first conceived, what's the doctor looking for? The sign of your heartbeat. So it's first for a reason. Right. You know what I mean? So I decided to just take my business. First, I was MVP consultations. Then I was like, that sounds too, like, that don't even sound right to me. And then I was just like, what do you do? Like, I speak. MVP speaks. And so I just took it and I ran with it. So poetry is my main thing. Like, I just want to be on stage across the world, inspiring people through poetry. Right after or right before Les Brown give a speech or somebody else give a speech, you know what I mean? I also do motivational speaking, but poetry is like my passion. Is what I'm feeling by.
And a lot of times, what happens is the motivation is just embedded. The education is embedded.
Yes.
And that's the language we speak here. The entrepreneurialism is embedded. It's just so much embedded within the purpose of why you're doing what you're doing.
Yes.
And that's when you start from there, everything else sort of takes care of itself.
Yes, I agree.
And when you're able to speak freely like that, that's when beautiful things happen. So you got music on deck. There's events coming up I want to get to. There's some projects that are pretty interesting. It's PG time is about to be over. Y'all can put the babies back to bed after y'all listen to the show, because there's some grown folk stuff about to pop off. All right, there's some grown folk stuff about to pop off. It's the Education Arts Project. It's things that you need to know about too. Trust me. Grown-ups can't ever stop learning.
Sure.
We talk about the fact that, for one, this is Black History Month. Yes. African history is the world's history.
Yes.
All your history comes from there. But my listening audience, very well aware of that. And then also, this is the month where people, get lovey-dovey and they want to show love and spread love and be in love and communicate their love and show their love and buy their love and all that fun fly stuff, you know what I mean? So there's a lot to be learned, there's a lot to be spoken on, even in the educational arts component of it. Some of it you touched on as far as just managing your own life while you doing everything else. Like I always say, the helpers need help, the most. The people that, it's amazing. Like I call you, I ain't ask you no questions. I ain't say what you got going on, what's popping, what you promoting. I didn't screen nothing. I didn't send you no questions, nothing. That ain't how I do with my guests. It's all about the people that I know are authentic. When I bring them on, it's already just flowing like water. You know what I mean? It's already flowing like water. You're already doing the work. You're already moving forward with a vision, with a mission, and open to engage with other people because you're a helper. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to help the helpers.
Yes,
I'm trying to help the helpers.
Job.
Thank you very much. That's what I've been doing. That's what I'm gonna keep doing. So if you know any helpers that need some help, have them call 414-899-1949. I ain't hard to find. This is 101.3 FM radio. We here each and every Thursday morning, 9 o'clock. You can check in with us. You can call us up, 414-888-5025, live on air. You can stop by. You can do whatever. You know what I mean? We appreciate the engagement. It's an ongoing conversation off air, in between shows, in between guests. We keep the conversation going because we're trying to find solutions. We're trying to see how we measure these solutions in the community, in our schools, in our families, so we can share exactly what you said, like share the best practice of what works. Just like somebody pushed you and you said, you know what, somebody pushed me, I know how to push somebody else and get them moving. You know what I mean? And so we got to be forever grateful to the people that push us to the next level. And that's still riding with us now to this day. So tell me a little bit about, first of all, plug how people can get in touch with you for your services, because you do speaking, you do motivation, you do engagement on a direct one-to-one level, and it's a public service, if you will. So tell people how they can get in touch with you.
So you can contact me at mvpspeaks@gmail.com, 414-465-2791. I do offer of course, spoken word features, keynote speeches. I do workshop facilitation for anybody and everybody on mindset development and personal development. Managing your mindset, managing your thoughts. Our thoughts control our world. And if we let the world control our thoughts, that's why we're in the state that we're in. So we have to be more intentional in choosing those things, choosing our thoughts purposefully. And so that's what I do. So holler at me. I'm just down for everybody. I actually did a workshop too in an older senior living facility last month that was phenomenal. Before I was even done, it was like, when are you coming back? So I work with all ages. We all need some inspiration and some consistent motivation, because a lot of times we'll be hyped for a day and then we get back into our old patterns. So we need some tools to keep
it was just January. People was real hype. It was New Year. It was a new me. It was a new everything. It was new.
And now where you at?
Now it's February 2nd.
And for sure. And
and the groundhog came up today.
Oh, did he?
I heard.
Oh, so what does that mean? More?
6 months. I don't know. 6 weeks left of winter.
6 weeks of winter. Okay.
I guess so I don't. I have to look for where that comes from. I don't know.
Yeah.
I may be off. It may mean something different.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
but
cool.
I think that's what I heard. That he did pop up.
Okay.
See how I just shifted gears right quick? I don't even know what we were talking about. But we're going to talk about now.
Yeah.
I don't even want to get into no more music.
Okay.
This is going great. I want to not right now. We're going to get into more maybe later. So let's talk a little bit about this situation with the. Right quick, briefly, let's plug the Black History. The Black. I really hate this poster here. I'm gonna just say for the fact, Ruben, I'm mad at you about this flyer, bro. You should have called me, man.
I got a graphic artist on deck too.
Okay, because I can't really say what this is, and I know what this is, but I can't even say what this is based on this. All right, it's real small right here. See, 2017 Wisconsin Black Arts Festival. Sorry, y'all. But I couldn't find it, all right? And I'm pretty fast.
It's really small.
Pretty quick. I'm a quick read, learn guy. The Wisconsin Black Chamber of Commerce is presenting a Wisconsin Black Arts Festival February 17th through the 19th. And MVP You'll be there.
Yes.
You just cut to the chase. You'll be there one of those days. What day?
I'll be there on Sunday, and actually I was just at the PBS studio downtown recording on Black Nouveau.
Nice.
For this event to represent Pentastic.
Nice.
Now we didn't really talk about Pentastic on the show yesterday, but Pentastic will be having a show on Sunday. I do believe at 3:30. Don't quote me on that time because I don't have the direct details. So if you want to get a taste of Pentastic, make sure you come out on the 19th to that event.
And this is at the Wisconsin
Historical Society. I do believe the Black Historical Society.
No, it's at the Wisconsin African American Women's Center.
Right,
yes,
that's the place.
on 30th and Valit.
I always get those two mixed up.
Yes, and on February 17th, 18th, 19th, on
Yeah.
30th and Valit at the Women's Center, there will be different events, different things going on, a lot of performances, arts and culture at its finest.
Yeah.
And this is a great initiative. And it says to register as a Black art vendor, Black author, or spoken word, just visit twbcc.com. All right, and that's going to be something that we'll probably plug again before the event comes up. Maybe you can communicate to Britt, tell her to come sit with me maybe next week to come promote that
Sure.
event, or the following week. We may have another Thursday in the mix that she can come back. It don't matter, but we can definitely support what's going on here with this event and all the other events that's going on around the city. We want to celebrate the culture, the heritage, the history, everything that's happening around the city on every level. So if y'all know some things that's going on this month particularly, let me know, because the people need to know, especially family-friendly events. We want to push that out there and make it available to the little ones and to the babies so they can start feeling that community, they can start feeling that love, and they can start seeing by example what's going on in the city versus buying into the propaganda and the stuff that they hear on the news and in the streets. It's a whole nother world. Like you said, when you went to the poetry scene, it was a whole nother world. A vortex almost. You felt like you traveled somewhere else, and it's right up under your nose sometimes in your backyard. That's what arts and culture does, and it pushes people to the next level, and hopefully gets them critically thinking, about things. So this Black Arts Festival is big. We talk about the economic aspect of it, the entrepreneurial aspect of it, how it affects our community and our education systems, but it's some glue to it, and that's where this platform comes in, the Educational Arts Project. You have something new coming up. You got you working on something new.
I do. I have a.
All right, tuck the babies in.
I have a project coming out. It's called After Dark, and what it is, it's different than my normal poetry. It's more.
Let me turn the light off.
Oh, turn the light off.
Right.
Turn off the lights. Okay.
Go ahead.
It's a grown. I'm gonna say grown and sexy for lack of a better term. I don't really like that term, but
Why
it's
you don't just want to call it erotic poetry?
Because it's not really. Well, I guess it is erotic. Okay,
That's
we're
a
gonna
whole
call it
genre,
erotic
right?
poetry.
Like that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So people know what that is.
Yeah,
right?
I guess you're right.
I mean, so
Maybe I'm still not comfortable all the way with that.
Okay.
I'm still working on myself. So yeah, I guess it's erotic poetry. And that was just something I wanted to do just to show another side of myself. I'm releasing it on February 11th at an event that I'm hosting and performing at called Nipples. That is an erotic art show, so there'll be visual art. And there'll be like some live body painting, some spoken word performances, a whole lot of just fun. Get in touch with your sexuality.
Hold on, back up.
Back up.
So now okay. You
Yes.
having a what and a when?
February 11th. The event is called Nipples. It's an erotic art show. It's called. Let me get the exact title. An art show, a leather and lace edition. So it's at Giselle's Art Studio, 2201 Dr. Martin Luther King Drive, from 7 to 10 p.m. There will be visual artists, live paintings. We're going to talk about our sexuality, how do we embrace our bodies, and things like that.
So people's imagination start running wild as soon as you said nipples, for the record, but you can say nipples on the radio. It's okay. But check this out. Big shout out Giselle. That's another
fantastic
arts and culture place, that I always tell people about, and people always ask me, am I Vidal? And they think that
is it you, the other one? Yeah.
So that's fun. That's interesting. I told somebody on the phone the other day, me and him should probably just go into business together, because we could just have those conversations seamlessly and we get money. Vidal, get at me. All right, we get money.
Dope. I love it.
So I was listening to what you were saying, and there's gonna be a lot happening, a lot going on. Is this obviously this is an adult event? Is this something that's open to men and women?
Yes, it's open to men and women. And I was trying to find the price for people so they can know.
How can they find out more information? Hit you directly?
You can go to Facebook.
Page?
You can just Google nipples.
Don't do that. They don't do that. Listeners, don't. She did not mean it like that. All right? She did not mean it like that. Listeners.
Not on Google, but on Facebook.
Listeners.
But you can go to my Facebook page. It's there as well. My MVP Speaks Facebook page, it might be on there also. But it's really about just being comfortable with ourselves.
Self-awareness. And there's a lot to be spoken about as far as that goes, and I think that you should be ready to explain that. So what's the importance of what's behind it, and keep explaining this, because my listeners are Googling nipples right now.
Okay, it's just really about loving yourself and embracing sexuality and embracing nakedness. Somebody had posted a meme on Facebook and said that, why all these black memes is naked people embracing each other or something like that. And they were really kind of like offended by it. And I said, there's nothing wrong with our naked bodies. Like this is how we came into the world. And we live in a over-sexualized society, which is the problem. It's not our bodies that's the problem. It's not sex is not the problem. It's that women are objectified and men are objectifying women and vice versa. So this is a way to just be comfortable.
So I've been wanting to get into this kind of conversation on the Educational Arts Project, and I'm glad a woman brought it up.
Okay.
I'm glad a woman brought it to the light and to the table and all that, because I think it should be a woman like speak on what that means and how that, because in art that's a big thing, right?
Yeah.
Especially music, like you said, over-sexualized music and art. So when we talk about art, sometimes when I talk about hip hop, sometimes people might always jump to some over-sexualized stuff, that they that relate to in their mind and their subconscious, et cetera, et cetera. So we're gonna dive into that, and maybe not today too deep, but we're gonna get back into that, because it comes down to like also portrayal and education, because a lot of people speak for women, to be honestly, about how they feel or what they think and all that. So I think letting the conversation sort of flow from a woman, it could be very enlightening.
Yeah.
It can be very enlightening, so people understand.
It's okay to talk about.
So that's what this event is about.
Yeah.
And this event touches on.
And it's supporting the arts.
And it's supporting the arts, obviously, with live body paint.
Right.
What could be better? So, what's the location again? The date again? Let's run down the specifics.
February 11th, Giselle's Art Studio, 22. I just lost the address. It's on MLK Drive. 2201 Dr. Martin Luther King Drive. Is from 7 to 10 p.m. You can go to Eventbrite. That's where you should go check out the event, because that's where all the information is.
And you can go there and search.
I do believe it's $12 to get in. There'll be refreshments, and it's going to be a really fabulous time. Like, it's Valentine's
Can
weekend.
I get a VIP from the MVP?
I think I can get a +1. You coming through?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna make it work.
At least, I like to be invited to places.
I feel you.
Otherwise, if I'm bum rushing, then I gotta bring my security. I gotta bring Josh.
You gonna bring Josh?
I'm saying if I got a bum rush, I'm bringing Josh. But otherwise, if I'm invited,
then
I'm
you
chill.
Just come. Yes, you were invited.
Yeah.
You could be my.
I need a VIP though, not just regular guest either. I need
VIP.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to. You know what I mean?
I don't know what that package entails, but.
Hey, I heard some pretty interesting things today. So I don't know what it entails either.
Okay, you can find out when you get there.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. We gotta have fun. We gotta live a little. I'm actually doing a live body painting at a Harley event. Shout out to Beatrice Hart, who so I'm stepping out of my comfort zone on Saturday. She's gonna paint me, and I'm gonna be on display, and that's something I would have never thought to do, but I'm like, you know what? I always wanted to do it, so what am I afraid of? Let's just get it done. So
we're having fun this morning.
Yes,
it's the Educational Arts Project. I'm going to make a quick announcement, and then we're going to cut to like one more of these jams before we, get too excited around here talking about this upcoming event that she's talking about.
It's all good.
Yeah, I'm just messing around. It's great, and I know the listeners are tuned in, and gonna make they're gonna make good use of that information you just shared. Trust me.
Thank you.
All right, they're googling right now. Okay, so February 5th, that's this Sunday. That's the Circulate Creative Entrepreneur Market. That's 11 to 4 p.m. Now, some of you all have heard me talk about Circulate on this program, and you've heard me talk about Circulate in other spaces, and it's a great entrepreneurial opportunity for local vendors and people who do services and have products and books and CDs and fashion and body products and you name it. There's going to be people there doing services, jewelry. There's a local food vendors going to be there. Big shout out to my nephew. Fresh Spring Rose Truman is going to be in the building. And you can find out more information by searching Facebook Circulate MKE or circulatemke.com, or, just get at me if you want to learn more information. There may be some more vendor spaces available. Probably not. I'm probably saying stuff I shouldn't be saying online, but it's okay. If you're interested, you can find out how to get involved with the next one. There'll be giveaways, there'll be raffles. It's always a great situation. This one is at the Walsh Building, 160 South 2nd Street, right in on the edge of downtown in Walker's Point. And it's a free family event. And if you want to see some great things and some unique things going on in Milwaukee from the community, for the community, come to the Circulate Market this Sunday and buy something for your loved ones. Show your love in a special way. Get her something or get him something that they'll never get nowhere else in the world. And support a local business while you're doing it, or a local family. That's what it's about. And we have something called Circulate Small, where there's youth entrepreneurs and youth vendors that are actually going to be there set up as well. We support that 100,000 million trillion %. All right, so you'll hear about more Circulate stuff here on the Educational Arts Project, because that's really what it's all about as well. We have artists and artisans and vendors and fashionistas and people who are great makers and they do all this great stuff. They should actually be well taken care of by the community. We should know who's doing what and what's available so we can support each other. Sometimes the artists just supporting each other, like I said, creates that circle of economic opportunity. That's how it is in the hip-hop scene, whether it's studios or t-shirts or videos or websites. People are spending money with themselves within a small unit sometimes, and that's a helpful model that we can grow on. In cooperative economics, that's a helpful model we can grow on and just create a building. So that's Circulate. I go on for a trillion years about that because it don't stop. And all the local vendors and the businesses in Milwaukee, keep pushing, keep your brand pushing, keep trying something different, keep challenging yourself, and that's what it's about. That's what Miss Vikki is telling us right now. MVP Speaks is challenging herself to step up and do new things and step out and expand. Yeah. So one more time, tell me about your services, because I think this is critical. Mental health is needed in our community.
Yes.
Mental health is needed in everybody's community.
Yes.
And so shout the information out again and tell them why it's important.
Yes, it's important. I believe that there's a lot of great avenues to healing. And the main one is self-love and self-care. And so my services really empower and help people to tune into themselves. A lot of people are out here like I was, trying to save everybody, but we're not saving ourselves first. So contact me at mvpspeaks@gmail.com, 414-465-2791. You can call or text me for any spoken word features, any keynote speeches, any workshop development, and I also do one-on-one personal mentoring. Now, I'm not a life coach. I'm a mind coach, I guess. I help you, get into your mind and really see what you're telling yourself, because the story you tell yourself is going to manifest itself into your life.
That's right. What you water grows, my people.
Yes.
All right. So you said something about something, but I just remembered that,
okay.
You going to give us something live here.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
We're going to get into it. This is a special dedication for the original, for our story, 365. We don't just do this in February.
Right.
We do this for life. We integrate this in our children's lives, and we soak it up from the elders. That's what this is all about. And the Educational Arts Project definitely wants to learn more about what's happening on the ground in the community and how we can add on to the conversations that involve interwiring arts and culture and everything else important to us.
Yes.
In this time.
For sure.
We should be at the table at ground zero.
Yes.
We are the table.
We are the table. Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this poem is called Black Child. And I was inspired to write this poem at Pentastic after my brother Ajamu Butler, Brother Heal the Hood, and Daquana did a poem similar. So this inspired. This is called Black Child. Black child, God lives in your soul. That alone makes you whole, complete, perfectly imperfect. You are worthy of your story being told. Speak your life, shine your light. Black child, silver linings lie, golden rays dry your eyes. Worries of yesterday gone. Tomorrow never comes. Embrace today. Look yourself in the face with love and understanding. Your soul breathes breaths of fresh air. You are rare. The only one of your kind, black child. It's your time. No matter what ails you, hold your head high. Find the freedom in your mind. Physical manifestations take place in due time. Don't wonder how. No wandering now. Come home. No need to roam. Love is here. I hear your cries. I see the stars in your eyes. The universe revolves because you are. No shots fired. Soar higher. Greatness is in your smile. Laugh. Joy is your birthright. Abundance. Slight turbulence. Rock steady. Stay ready. Never let no one tell you what you can't do. All things are possible through you because the G-O-D inside is you. Black child, circumstances and situations don't define you. Maybe no one ever told you you were beautiful, but now I'm telling you so. And when you quiet your mind, your royalty speaks from inside. I know what you face, simply being your race. Never quit. Don't entertain the shift. You have the power to shift. Know your worth since birth. Destined for greatness, black child. They will test your patience with images of negligence, songs that don't adorn you with love and affection, teaching you self-rejection. Look at your reflection. Black child, divine purpose is in your bloodline. Your higher authority can bring you peace. Know you arrived right on time. Stay focused. Love yourself regardless of anyone else. Follow your heart. Essentially, sharpen your focus purposely. Believe in your destiny. Know that it's only you that it seeks. This world ain't for the meek. Most of your strength comes mentally. Keep your mind right and you will be whatever you aim to be. Society will try and make you believe you are worthless. But you, my black child, are worth it. Worth this poem and so much more. And I could go on for days about the way you make me smile. Even when it seems you're running wild, you like my soul. I see God in you and I see what you've been through. But I know greater is where you're going to. And I have so much faith in you. Believe in my belief in you if you have to. Will get you through. I'd like to walk with you hand in hand across this American land. Power fists in the air, natural hair with pride, purpose filled, knowing your rich history, understanding your legacy. Rise, black child, rise. Your time is now. Like minds will show you how. Watch the circle, the company you keep. Grow stronger and never weak. Always watch the words you speak because they create your reality. Choose life on purpose because it's living that you seek. My love is real and my words are pure. And if it's two things that I know for sure, all things are possible. And you black child, are unstoppable.
Bars. Look, she said, just believe in her belief in you. If that's all you got. And we're going to close it out like that. This is the Educational Arts Project. Viva Fidel is your host. Check in with us next week. 101.3 FM. Appreciate you, Josh. Appreciate you, MVP.
Appreciate you.
Peace.
Peace.
That's how you ended it. Just have to stop right there. There's really nothing else you can say after that. Black child, that's it.
Yes. This was fantastic.
That's it.
I need to get my own show. I need some sponsors. How much it costs to have your own show on here? I know it's like
I think like 150 to 200.
Ooh, she talking that talk. I like that. She talking that talk.
and that's